Welcome to the channel. In this video I'll be sharing the details of my personal system, which I use for gaming and making these videos, and now for digitizing my physical media, which I used to do on my home theater PC, but I've moved the storage over to my main rig to take advantage of the more powerful components in my system for converting the media. I've shown but not really highlighted my gaming setup in the Leanly SUP01 case unboxing, so I thought that it would be interesting to share the current specs as I update a couple of things. Here you can see the main specs. I'm using a 12900KF on an MSI Pro Z690 DDR4 board with 64GB of memory and a 3090. I have a 2TB M.2 boot drive, as well as a 1TB M.2 and a 1TB 2.5-inch SSD for extra storage. And now I have moved over the two 8TB HDDs from my home theater PC for a total of 20TB of storage. I'm using the Corsair RM1000X power supply unit, which I showed in my last video. The optical Blu-ray drive does not mount natively to the case, but I'll show you the solution I used for that. I'm using a Thermalright AIO for cooling the CPU, but I came across this unified 3-fan 360mm block from Jonsbo, the ZB360. It has infinity mirrors on the edges as well as the hubs, and RGB lighting for the blades, so I thought I'd give it a try as I've never used anything from Jonsbo before. You can see it has just one cable for ARGB and one cable for the fan power. Here you can see the difference in hub and fan size compared to the case fans I was using. Now for the Blu-ray drive, I showed this in my test bench video. The case comes with a mount for a water pump, and the holes on the bottom of the Blu-ray drive happen to line up well with the mount. For the 3090 I'm using, I got this Gigabyte Gaming OC card on eBay almost 2 years ago, but last year the stock fans failed. I considered ordering a new set of fans, but I thought I would take the opportunity to repaste the GPU and just slap a couple of case fans onto the heatsink. It's not a pretty solution, but the fans do their job well and are quieter than the stock fans on the card. If you're wondering which fans these are the Alphacool Apex Stealth metal fans. This is the chrome version. They are a 2000 RPM daisy chainable PWM fan. Rather than show the whole step-by-step build, I'll just show you the end result. Here's the inside behind the motherboard tray with the two 8TB HDDs. Here is the finished build from the front. The PCI slots on the case can be rotated for a vertical mounted GPU setup, but you'll need your own riser cable. You can see the optical drive mounted up front and the 2.5-inch SSD mounted to a plate on the side fan rail. Here you can see the optical drive accessible at the front, mounted to the pump bracket. The drive can be opened and closed easily, and would be even better with a couple of M3 spacers and longer screws, which I might add later. And here's the build of the fans all lit up just in rainbow mode. You can see the slight infinity mirror effect and the hub lighting. And this is the complete effect with the glass side panel back in place. Once the build was finished, I did a couple of tests to make sure everything looked okay. Here's a Cinebench multi-core run result with a score of about 26,600. Here is some brief gameplay footage from Cyberpunk 2077, with a simple custom MSI Afterburner monitor display in the top left corner. The game is running at 1440p at high settings with just the frame gen and ray tracing turned off, which is generally how I like to play it. You can see the GPU is quite warm, but still not a temperature range I'd be worried about, and I also have the fans on the GPU set to a gentle curve, as it is an open frame case, so going full blast on the fans would be quite loud. And that's it for the video. I hope you found it interesting. I'll link the different fans in the case in the description for anyone who might be interested. Thanks very much for watching.